All
Great.
right. So if you can go down to the second page, and I'll kind of
Sure.
run through this pretty quickly, and then I can answer any questions that you have.
Sure.
So this is Sandy Hostetter. She is the chairman of our board, and basically she's very much community facing for our organization, and she's a great advocate for the work that we do. And we have throughout this document, you'll see updated quotes from our investors and how they use the partnership in different ways. But this is highlighting one of those quotes directly from Sandy. So I just wanted to bring you to her attention, or her to your attention, and make sure you look for quotes throughout too. These are updated quotes this year from people that are involved in our partnership. And then if you'll go to the next page. This is a message from our CEO, Tim Giuliani, and just kind of talks about more about what our organization is all about. We're economic development, making it a better place to live for all through our broad-based prosperity initiative. And I will not read word for word for you, but this is just some highlights of the work that we do. And if you get a chance to learn a little bit more about us through Tim's message. You can go ahead into the next one.
Let me make it a little bit smaller so you'll get more.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
And this kind of just shows a graphic that really is like, when you partner with us, our capabilities, your opportunities, the access that you have to other business leaders, that's how we really drive our partnership and the framework of what we do together. And that is defined here for you. Do you want to continue moving down?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is what I was saying. We are contracted with Seminole, Orange, Osceola, and the city of Orlando for economic development. So we also have a presence in the other counties that are listed. Those are just the ones that are highlighted, or where we do or have the contracts with the counties and the city. And then the next farther down on this slide, you'll see the jobs growth. Our economic development, our business development team is tasked with bringing in a minimum of 4,600 jobs to the Orlando region with a higher income or wage. And they, for the last year that we have data from, that the average jobs were 92,000 wage.
Great.
And these are some of the businesses that our business development team has brought to the market of Orlando. And this just gives a snapshot of it. The business development team is working with about 50 companies at any given time, providing information about moving their businesses to Orlando. And they're very busy, especially after coming out of COVID. It's a very busy team that has a lot on their plate, but they provide the information that the people that are looking to move here need, and put our best foot forward.
Nice.
You can go ahead. And this gives kind of just a quick snapshot from our yearly. Oh, sorry, you skipped ahead. Our snapshot of our kind of just pinpoints of some research that we pulled, so that's available in there. And then you're now to the board of directors, which we have a pretty large board with representation from all across the region, from healthcare to electric companies to sports teams to it's quite a variety. We're African American Chamber, the Hispanic Chamber. They all have representation, and we make it try to be a pretty diverse board. And they meet quarterly. And then we have also an opportunity to connect with people at these businesses. So if you're looking to connect with somebody and are these kind of businesses, it may not be these people, but we could probably connect you in some way to their company.
Great.
So if you want to take a look at the board and where it's represented, and see what businesses kind of match up with your organization or who you want to connect with.
Yeah, I see a variety of, actually, broad variety of
Yeah,
businesses
I was
here.
gonna say we have,
I see the, yeah, like Bank Twist, and then I see Merrill Lynch. I see, well, Florida Blue, that's another large corporation,
yeah,
and the Orlando Magic, of course. And yep,
yes.
great. And Duke Energy, yeah,
Mm.
that's another big one.
Yes, I can only see half your screen, so I just wanna make sure I don't know if
Yeah, me too, actually,
okay. Okay,
right
I was
now.
making sure. I was like, I'm
Yeah,
following along, but
right.
but yes, it's pretty we have higher education. We do a lot of work with UCF and Full Sail, and they have a representation on our board. And then we have both mayors on our board from Orange County to City of Orlando. And we
Nice.
have developers and lawyers, so it's pretty diverse.
Yes, obvious. It is.
And then yeah, so you can take a look at all of our boards, and then there's different levels of investment in the partnership, and this kind of goes through each one. Now, Advent Health, Orlando Magic, and Disney are our largest investors, and then we have it kind of goes down from there, just depending on the level of involvement. A lot of people start usually around the either the partner level, which is the 7,500 level, or the 15,000 level, just depending on how engaged you're looking to get into the with your organization, into our organization, and we can kind of go through those a couple of those options below.
Sure. I think this is what you mentioned.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to go kind of talk you through the partner level, and then you can, and I'll tell you the difference between that and the 5,000
Sure.
level. It just depends on
I'm sorry, partner level, which one is
partners,
that?
7,500. So if you could bring up the 7,500.
Oh, okay. Sure. Partner and small business.
Perfect.
Yes.
So really, if with there's a lot of similarities between our investment levels, but they keep, you as you invest more in the partnership, engage more in the partnership, you get more things added on. Now with the 7,500 level, you're going to get if you have events, which do you have events in Orlando, or do you have meetups or anything like that in Orlando for
Currently, no.
what's that?
Currently, we did not do any event in Orlando.
Okay, so if you did do that, if you have some in the future, you could promote those through our website as being an investor. We also have new investor profiles where you can feature what you do in our region. We have a technical assistance, which means basically if you call and say, Nicole, we really need to make a connection with XYZ company, I'll work to help that and make that happen for you. We have the Orlando Film Commission underneath the umbrella of the Orlando Economic Partnership. So it's just closer access and easier access if you need to do any kind of filming in the region. And then economic updates would be, we have our CEO weekly newsletter that Tim sends out. We also have our Business Insider, and then we have different things throughout the year. Like next week, we're partnering with the Orange County government to do their economic update on the 21st at Full Sail University. So those are kind of things that you can get or you kind of have access to, or if you have anybody that's in Orlando and that would like to attend next week too, that's a free event. But we are that was one of the unique things that we are co-hosting. And then for another thing that kind of stands out here is that for the 7,500 level, you get the 4 investor updates each year, which means that they're big luncheons. Like we're having one in Winter Park in May, and it's going to be at the Alfond Inn. They're plated lunches where they bring a group of business leaders together. There's about 200 people that attend these, and it's really kind of a cool opportunity to meet and engage with other businesses in the region. We also have our board that meets 4 times a year, and at the 7,500 level, you would get access to the board receptions, which means after the board meets, there's an opportunity to network and engage with them and other business leaders after the board reception. That's probably the biggest difference between the 5,000 and the 7,500 is that you get access to those board receptions, and it amplifies more of who you get to be in front of. And then we have new investor profiles, so you can kind of feature what you do. The annual company spotlight, if we have those that go out on our social media and we feature on our website. There's different events throughout the year. We have Barbecue on the Boulevard, which is the largest outdoor business networking event in the region, and that was
Barbecue is always good.
What's that?
Barbecue is always good.
Oh, it's always talked about, but that's one of
Yeah.
our events that we put on every year, and it had over 1,000 people in February of this year. So it was a great way to connect. And what's really fun about barbecue is that it's investors and non-investors that get to that come to this, but everybody there is there to meet other people and connect in a really cool way, and then of course eat some good barbecue.
Yep.
So it's just, and then we also have CEO luncheons, which happens once a month at University Club as an investor at the 7,500 level too, that you would get, someone from your organization could represent to one or two of the CEO luncheons per year. And they keep them pretty small, 20 to 30. It's just kind of a lunch to talk about what's going on in the region. It's very laid back and low key. We also offer events that are called Beyond the Boardroom, which are behind the scenes tours of different things that are going on in Orlando. Like we went down to Icon Park for one, we took an Amazon tour for another, and it's just ways to engage with investors on in a different way. And those are limited to like 20 to 30 people per event. And then we have our annual dinner, which is in September. And there's just a lot of ways to get engaged. This is what's listed here is kind of the basic features of what you would get at each level. But what's not listed is when, like if you do need a contact at something, you can call up Nicole and say, hey, I would really like a contact at this for, can you help us set up a meeting? And that's what we do. But also, making sure that if you have something going on in your organization, that we're aware of it so we can help tell your story as well. So it just kind of depends on what your goals are and what you want to do and how many, if you have people in market that would come to our events, or how you would like to, the more engaged that your organization can be, the more that they're going to get out of it. And that's kind of the quick overview, but it's just more like us, learning more about your organization to find out where the best ways to plug you in. And
Yes.
Happy to answer any questions that you have.
Great. So, let's see if we have questions here. Okay. One of them is, I have two questions. One of them is, do you match company services to member corporations?
So if let me make sure I understand this question. Like if businesses that are already here, or is this businesses that are coming to market? Or both?
My understanding from this question is, do you match company services to the corporations, member corporations? The newcomer or the businesses in the OEP, do you match these services to other corporations? So if they need services, I think this is what
Yeah,
this question
absolutely.
means.
So I think we do that on both sides, and really for if our business development team, looks to our investor pool when they need a resource for a lot of things. It's depending on they come to us, or they know a lot of our investors. They say we need somebody that can come speak to this group about this subject, or bring in an expert in that field. We absolutely reach out to our investors for that. But if there's also an investor that needs the services of another organization, we easily connect those people, and we do that all the time.
Okay. And the second question, and the last one, is how many events a year?
There's about, I would say there's 10 strategic events that are kind of on the larger scale. But we can also put together smaller coffee meetings and things like that, depending on who you need to meet with. Like where we have a group of investors that come together and have coffee in downtown Orlando, and it's just a connection thing, and it's not a full, it's not a full-on event. But those are things that we put on, and we have at least one of those a month, and then we have larger scale of about 10 larger scale events a year.
Great. And those 10 larger scale events attracts, I think, the companies not from Orlando or Florida, but other states as well.
We focus, so our events have a lot of people, business leaders from our region. So, and then people that have just moved here. It's mainly comprised of that, but they have a good representation from all areas of categories of business, but mostly from that are already here or just moved here.
Okay, great. I remember seeing kind of advertisement from Orlando. There was a couple of months back. There was a technology fair or something like that.
So
It was
we,
a large event.
Synapse.
I think Snaps. I
Yeah,
don't
we
remember. It
partner
was a
with
large event.
Synapse was in Orlando in October, and we partner with them to host that tech event.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
great.
October. We'll be coming back this year too. We'll also have a new office space that the partnership is moving into. We're in a temporary space now, and it's going to be a place where we'll be able to host investors, and it'll be an amazing space with even a digital twin of the region in it. So it's going to be another place that we can potentially have more events and more strategic events too. So those are the things that we're looking at.
Great. Nicole, this is all the questions we have so
Sure.
far. Thank you very much for taking time to introduce us, Orlando Economic Partnership. And
Awesome.
thank you all for joining this call. And wherever you are, have a great rest of the day. And until next time,
Thank you.
have a great day. Bye
You
now.
too. Bye.